And a warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for joining us here today for another live episode of Conversations with Michael. And I just love that new intro. Nice calming influence in a world today that is needing a little shot of feeling a little more calm. So let's take our deep breath here together, as we do every month, coming together to help support and celebrate this incredible opportunity to experience our freedom, not from doing battle with what we perceive to be taking our freedom from us, outside of us, but the opportunity to experience our freedom from the inside out. In part, we do that here by listening to Michael's overview every month of where we're at in relationship to this human experience, in our own relationship to our own sovereignty, and by keeping you up to date on some of our upcoming live events. We're streaming live here from our home studio on this beautiful day in the central Willamette Valley in Oregon. No matter where you call home, we're glad you can join us. Let's begin today again with another collective deep breath. Because let's face it, these are really, really intense times to be living on this planet. Being human right now is not for the faint of heart. And it doesn't matter what your state of consciousness is. It takes a lot of courage to be here right now. For all of us, there's so many distractions that keep our attention from our own inner reality. You know, it's far more entertaining. And all of us have done this before, to just keep pointing fingers, to look for conspiracies, or to try and stir things up in yet another Facebook post. Because the mind truly, truly loves the drama. So our service to all of you is not focused on any particular problem facing this planet, because that represents a never-ending story. Because we don't believe that any of them can actually be resolved or exposed by looking at our past for solutions. This is the time for something new. And for those that we have the honor of serving, We're not suggesting you join some rally and go marching in the streets. We're suggesting that this is the time to take full responsibility for your own inner reality. That place inside of you from which all creation springs forth. So as we celebrate the changes within the seasons on this planet, from summer to fall, at least in this part of the world, it's a very good time to harvest. It's a good time to receive all that we planted during this lifetime, during this year, and throughout all of our lifetimes. Not in terms of physical objects. That's always the last thing that manifests. This is a really, really good time to feel into those underlying passions, those heartfelt desires that are based on allowing your own non-physical presence to be present. Well, that would be really bold. That certainly would be really new. And that would be incredibly boring to that part of you that loves drama. So I just want to take this moment to acknowledge all of you that made a conscious choice to walk away from the drama. Thank you. Thank you. This freedom that we keep referring to, it can be very elusive. If the thought of being spirit is but a concept, like a new clever idea or just another belief, it's one thing for any of us to realize that you are spirit, but to actually allow a part of you that already knows itself to be that already, to also be in your life, to be in your body, in your mind, and in your own heart. Well, very, very few are willing to put their own human needs and desires to the side in order to experience something that, from that perspective, appears and feels to be so pure. It's such an incredible choice. It is. And this is going to sound perhaps a little strange, but for me, this has been, without a doubt, one of the best years of my life, at least in the role that I enjoy playing with all of you. And I know that sounds kind of weird given the virus and all the restraints that have been placed on people's lives. But throughout this entire year, I've had the honor, the privilege to witness firsthand so many changes that have literally transformed the lives of those that I have the honor of serving. I know you've heard us say this countless times. This truly is the lifetime, at least for those of us that are at the forefront of this major shift in consciousness on this planet. Mount Hood behind me as our witness. Indeed, to not only embrace, but to also embody the very presence of your own soul nature. It's not an easy choice, but it does represent a truly authentic relationship to this freedom, a type of freedom that has been missing for a very, very long time. Just last week, we completed our 6-month iSpirit 1 course, something we've been offering since 2015. It's a place where Michael introduces a variety of new perspectives that have the potential to change our life forever. And from there, they filter down into all of our other workshops and classes. So for my wife, Coca, who is here again in support of me today, thank you. For us to actually witness so many people from all over the world now allowing this very freedom to now be in their life, no longer struggling with it, no longer fighting against it, no longer just being a concept. Well, it still gives me goosebumps. It truly does. Because we know there exists deep inside of all of you that heartfelt desire for such a freedom. And we know for many of you that passion was ignited many years ago. But we also know there are endless distractions inside of this human experience, making it almost impossible to actually experience what your heart yearns to experience. So let's just take a moment here to just honor such a choice, such a courageous choice in all of you. Let's do that by taking a breath here together. No matter where you find yourself today, if you're feeling like perhaps, just perhaps, you might have missed the boat, we're here to tell you you didn't. In fact, now you have the advantage, unlike any other previous time on this planet, of also feeling a lot more tangible support than you've ever felt before. Thanks to those that took this opportunity, relaxed, and realized they are what they've been looking for. It's that simple. Spirit incarnate, but with your name on it. It is that simple. So, as we look at the planet today, well, the energy has never been so high. On that, I'll take a toast to that. And because it's been so high, and is so high, of course, there's never been so many perhaps uncomfortable reactions to this energy. That's never been so high as it is right now. And so to accommodate such a new experience, there are still a lot of energies buried deep inside of our bodies and in this planet that need to be released just to integrate this new energy into a quasi-physical human experience. So once again, I want to thank all of you for having the courage to go within, because we all feel not only the increase of the energy, that part feels really good, but we're also feeling the reaction to this energy from the collective consciousness of our human family. Everything that you've been looking for already exists inside of you. It's always been there. We just got distracted. So, on that note, as we always do here on Conversations with Michael, let's take a quick look at some of the upcoming events we'll be presenting in the next month or so in a short 2-minute video. So feel free to visit our website for more information on any of our programs or services. Michael also requested, a couple weeks ago, that I reschedule those upcoming live workshops that perhaps you remember those in our last conversations with Michael, because he really wants me to put all my time and energy into our next book, which I have to be honest, I haven't done anything with. So I will. I'll start working on that, beloved friend, here next week. I'll keep all of you posted. Some of you registered for those upcoming live workshops. I'll keep you posted on the new dates and times as they become available to me at the beginning, probably at the beginning of next year. Nothing has changed as far as the classes connected to the in-studio classes for all of you that are participating in the Masters Unplugged program. And of course, our most popular course, iSpirit. Well, iSpirit 2, the 3-month course, is now open for registration, and we created a very short video to highlight some of the benefits from participating in that course. Very good. And we offer some generous discounts for the iSpirit course if you are a monthly subscriber of the Masters Unplugged program or a past attendee. If you are a past attendee, just email me at your convenience and I'll send you some information. Some of you have emailed me asking, how do I create all this stuff that we put together here for Conversations with Michael? And actually, if you go to our website and just click on the resource page, everything that I use, I posted there and freely share with all of you. A lot of it isn't free. In fact, most of it isn't free. So appreciate all of your support in a variety of ways that's being shared. Very good. So let's take another deep breath as I once again step aside and allow my own eternal self, known to all of you as Michael, to step forward. Yes, indeed. Greetings, it is I, Michael, and thank you, Robert. Experiencing with you this unique, grand time. You're never alone, my friends. ever. There is always the support your human self yearns to feel, being shared by myself and others like me 24/7. 24/7. Just take a deep breath anytime during your day. What are we doing in terms of our support? Reminding you that how you feel that support from us is available to you directly from you, your own eternal self, your own soul nature. Indeed, our support doesn't come with an agenda. You don't have to join any group or organization. You don't have to participate in any of the services inside of Ancient Wings or the teachings of Michael. You see, my friends, you and I know each other very well. You can feel that inside your own heart. A lot of you participate in these offerings that we share with you, not to learn anything, but because it reminds you of something going on outside of what your mind understands. One soul being to another. Our support to each of you is unconditional. This isn't our first ride around this block, so to speak. You and I have been here in this same place, not necessarily this planet, but we've been here many, many times before. You and I have shared a variety of experiences, many of them battles that almost broke our heart. There have been times when we truly could not see our way out of feeling trapped inside of our own creations. But something has changed, has it not? You can feel it as I speak. Something dramatically has changed. So many of you no longer suffer from doubting your own creative abilities. That would be new. No longer feeling trapped inside these carbon-based bodies. That could be brand new. Well, that doesn't mean you're not challenged by all the biological conditions you also inherited. But even in those moments, you now trust more than ever in a presence that brings balance to your own life. One that offers solutions to whatever within you feels out of balance. We've never witnessed what is happening on this planet as we are watching it right now. Oh, we, like you, we could always feel it as a potential, but let's be honest. You can get sick and tired of hearing about potentials that from your human perspective and even from within your own soul's vision never seem to manifest. But you kept coming back to this planet, did you not? Lifetime after lifetime, because you knew this potential wasn't just about you. It had to start there, but it wasn't just about you. It was a potential that could impact the lives of every heart-centered being throughout all of creation. Perhaps very small in numbers, but oh so very, very potent. If only you would allow, through that beautiful gift of a heart, the heart of creation, to begin to beat inside your own human heart. Let's feel that right now. Take a deep breath with that. The heart of creation is now available to you because you've allowed it. beating to its own dance. Let it dance with your human heart. Feel it begin to merge to the rhythms of your human heart. The heart of creation doesn't care what your story is, doesn't judge any of that. The heart of creation doesn't back off if it starts to feel your tension, your anxiety, your doubts and your fears. It's okay with that. Can you just allow it to beat to your own dance, your own life, but offering something uniquely beautiful? Breathe with that. Indeed. Such has been the pain, dear ones, from separating yourself from being spirit too. The separation became so convincing that you started to believe it was more real than consciousness itself, more real than the heart of creation. So now we find all of you in a very new place. For some, even as we speak, you just can't stop crying. Oh, you're not sad. These are tears of joy. Indeed. It's been that long, has it not? To feel the presence of the original self as you too, now, with your name on it? Welcome home, my friends. Welcome home. From your human perspective, what now awaits you is a joy for sharing what you have allowed in service to a whole and passionate heart, the heart of creation. Some of you are also wondering, why didn't this happen to me, Michael? What did I do wrong? Why didn't it happen to me? I'm not feeling that joy. I'm here to tell you it will. Indeed, it will. In a way, has it not intensified your passion for being even more conscious? Conscious of those underlying thoughts that were never yours to begin with. Conscious of how the mind believes it serves you best by acting as your guardian, distracting you with conspiracy theories as you watch one YouTube movie after another as to the real truth behind this current virus. Dear friends, the very debate will continue for many, like an ongoing TV series, one episode at a time, 1 year after another. Are you really going to try and convince me that it's your soul's passion to watch YouTube videos? Indeed. We see many of you becoming very, very clear throughout your day and during your sleep about how it feels, really feels, when you are now relying almost exclusively on the presence of your soul to guide you. In other words, if you're not feeling the joy, not feeling turned on by the life you are creating as you go, it's time to hit the reset button. Just take a deep breath. And with each breath, place your attention off of the distractions and back onto your energy, your presence. We know if that was easy to do, everyone would be doing it. And because you don't like how it feels when you judge yourself for being distracted, a lot of you go unconscious and allow those underlying energies to begin once again to choose for you. And then the cycle continues. You start looking for relief outside of you, only to discover that you're not alone on this journey. You also have a body, and it has its own state of consciousness. It's now letting you know by using pain signals when you're really not allowing your presence to be present. So all of you indeed do have a choice. This opportunity to experience your freedom is very open-ended, but it requires more than just your human personality to actually make it real. For some of you, you can choose right now to lay down after this session and begin to just practice conscious breathing. I get it. You got stuck. You got pulled in to mass consciousness. It might take an hour breathing before you really begin to feel the shift. Or your body can make the choice for you. It can have you laying down for several days. So we've talked a lot about duality over the years. It's not a bad thing. It just got stuck, got in its own way. It became polarized between the opposites or reflections of itself. All of us, throughout all of creation, tried to find a solution, a resolution to this cosmic dilemma. It wasn't until our own creativity became diminished that we considered exploring resolutions that might exist outside duality itself. That's why you're here. And it's why we are here too. If you weren't here, we wouldn't be here either. And if we didn't exist, you wouldn't be here either. And that is why so many of us are now celebrating. Together, indeed, we have discovered a solution. One that, yes, has always been there. But it exists outside of these mentally constructed realities, outside of the parameters that exist within time and space itself. So when we have said of late that healing your past isn't enough, and we know that plays a vital primary role, but to actually exist inside of this new reality, your past and your future now coexist inside of this now moment. And if you're trying to figure that out, how this could possibly work, I'll save you a lot of time and energy. Stop it. Just stop it. The need to figure things out is but a part of you that only knows itself based on what happened yesterday. And the week before, the month before, the year before, the years before, the lifetimes before, all the way back to the kingdom. So when we say it takes a lot of courage to literally step into this new type of freedom, we are not kidding. If you haven't already, all of you are going to experience a major pushback from your past. Because from its own perspective, you, that part that exists in your future, doesn't exist yet. But you discovered what, dear friends? That indeed you do exist in your future in this now moment. That was huge. Now, from your mind's linear perspective, that's asking a lot of your mind. In fact, it's kind of abusive to rely on the mind to guide you into your future. So, going back to how all of this started here today, we have all these fully conscious human beings realizing that what they wanted to become from their human perspective already exists. So what does a human to do? Well, the human allows those parts into their life. Those parts of you that don't have any issues, don't have any doubts, don't have any concerns. Let's play with that, shall we? I'm going to ask all of you to take a deep breath. And just let yourself get into a more relaxed, playful mode. Feel into that. You remember how to play. As a child, you spent most of your time playing and imagining things. So let that part of you from your past step forward a little bit to help you with this exercise. How do we do that? Let's use the 3 A's. Acknowledge the child in your own past. Accept it completely, just as it is. And allow it to come to you. Allow it to be more present. What you imagine as a child appeared very real to all of you. So let's just imagine there exists another version of you that is already fulfilled, already conscious that it too is spirit. Imagine the joy from such a simple yet profound realization. And again, if you find your mind is struggling with this, don't ask your mind to try to make this real. Let the child inside of you play with you now in your current version of you as an adult that got really, really serious. And imagine this joy from such a simple yet profound realization that you too are spirit. But let's make that even more real, shall we? We know all of you love breaking rules, so this should be a piece of cake. Let's just ignore, for now, all the rules that also apply to time. Let's just say that this other version of you is living on Earth 2 years from now. Now, to show you how easy this is, you already spent a lot of time looking backwards. it's pretty easy for you to see who you were 2 years ago. But to recall those moments, you don't use your imagination. You rely on your mind. This mind has created its own photo album filled with pictures from your past. So it's natural to feel a little resistance here from your mind when we insist that another photo album also exists with pictures from your future. Let's open it right now. Can you see yourself 2 years from now? And if you don't see it, at least feel yourself just 2 years from now, overwhelmed with this feeling of joy. Some of you are asking, why are you extending it all the way to being 2 years from now? So as to relieve you of all the pressure you put on yourself if I were to say 1 week from now. So play with this. 2 years from now, I'm here to serve you. Spend a little time allowing those feelings to really surface, to come to the surface, and to breathe with them. Feeling this joy, feeling this turned on, having realized that what you were looking for was you this whole time. And now you found you. Just as you have allowed your past over and over again to influence how you feel every moment of your day. Let's do the same with this future version. How are we doing? I see some of you are really enjoying this exercise because you like breaking rules, don't you? Why be obligated to follow the rules of time and space when you don't have to? Because if you believe this future version is just as real as whatever you've been in the past, then indeed it is. The past versions of you, for the most part, are based on what your mind perceives to be real. Your future versions are a little more open-ended, but just as real. Do we dare say even more real? That statement probably is met by little resistance from the mind. And we see some of you struggling with this because your mind just doesn't believe this could be real. But that's not the issue, is it, with the mind? And keep breathing with whatever you're feeling and keep it at the forefront. The issue is the mind doesn't know how to serve you by allowing the past to come to you too. This is outside your mind's capabilities. It's not even qualified to do this for you. And so it's frustrated. Let's acknowledge the frustration within your mind and accept it for just what it is. And now let's allow the mind to serve another part of you that is capable of playing with being outside of the constraints of time and space, your own heart. What are you feeling, my friends? Very good. Very good. What is your job as a conscious creator? Or put more accurately, what is your joy as a conscious creator? Why not keep breathing what you're feeling here? Now, why wait 2 years to become what you're feeling right now? Why wait a week? When you own what you become that. your job or joy, then stay true to what you're feeling. This will allow you then to feel all the undercurrents of other energies that are also a part of this experience from the human perspective. You don't try to control them, but now you're witnessing them. You're more of an observer. In this joy of what you become, you're able to work with the undercurrents of energies that used to push themselves to the forefront of your life. And from that place, you start thinking and feeling about life, not from a place of joy, but it becomes a little overwhelming, does it not? This little exercise, my friends, what we've been playing with here, it's just a small sample of what's waiting for you. Which is to say that your freedom doesn't reside in your past. It resides in both your past and your future. While experiencing your life in this now moment, does this future self heal your past completely? Indeed, it does. You are blessing your past. You are blessing your mind. You are blessing everything you have been by allowing what you've already become to share its presence with what you've been. The vast majority of human beings at this time would rather entertain the notion of what we are sharing intellectually. It doesn't feel safe to place their foot on the bridge of light. How can you really trust what is coming to you from the other side? Take another deep breath. Does that child that you're feeling that allowed you to experience more deeply what you have become already, does it have to be shoved back into that photo album that supports your past, never to be acknowledged? Or can it play with you? It misses you. It's the magical child you've been waiting for. Trying to twist the arms of that serious human as an adult to become more playful. How's that going? The child inside of you can actually teach this serious human a few things or two. Thank you, my friends, for having the courage to trust that it was you and always you, just waiting for your invitation to cross over to your side of this bridge. Now that many of you have, you offer a living example of how to relieve yourself from all that discomfort, all that pain that became a normal part to be a human. Whew. For so many of you, our work now shifts to helping you navigate living inside this new reality within this human experience. It's a new day, my friends. Welcome to my reality, a drama-free reality. Such a reality might appear to be really boring to your mind. We promise you, beloved mind, you're in for the ride of your life. Be a good time to buckle your seatbelts, mind. You're literally coming back to you to help guide you into this new energy. All my blessings, dear ones.